Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where our mission is to provide education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. USA Global TV and Radio connects you with experts and audiences all around the world every single day to help you succeed in business and to live a richer life. Visit us at usaglobaltv.com to learn about career and life-changing training and mentoring programs like the Listening Mentor. Subscribe to our newsletter to stay informed about our special programs and offers. Discover how you can become a guest on one of our shows or a host or producer of a USA Global TV and Radio show of your very own. That's USA Global TV and Radio, where the doctor is always in.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio, where we provide world-class education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. I'm Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, and our show today is the United Kingdom news and culture. We are going to get updates on the royal family as well as other fascinating tidbits of information from our expert correspondent HELENA CHARD. But first, let's welcome the star of our show. It's DIANN BOEHM. Hello, DIANN. Welcome.
Thanks. It's great to see you, Dr. Jacalyn. I love this show, and I can't wait to hear what HELENA has to say.
I'm excited as well. And DIANN, you and I had a great show yesterday, books, blogs, and poetry, so people can check that out. But what have you been up to? What's the latest and greatest that's going on in your world?
I'm excited to say that my pre-order is now up and going for Ruby Takes Chicago, which will be released on November the 19th. But you can pre-order right now on Amazon. So, yay!
We love pre-orders. Yay! Let's welcome the star of our show, HELENA CHARD, joining us from London in the United Kingdom. Hello, HELENA.
Hello, lovely ladies. So lovely to be with you today. I'm so looking forward to chatting and hearing what's going on as well from you, but I've also got lots of news to speak about. I was about to say hello, my chuckaboos, which obviously we've used before, which is that Victorian slang, which I still want everyone to sort of know this sort of, language. We don't want it to die out. It's really good fun. And I think it's all part of the language, isn't it? And learning. And there's various words like, I don't know, giggle mugs, and I can't quite remember, umble come stumble or something like that, which is, I can't quite remember. So I'm going to gem up on it. And each week, I will bring something to the show, because I think it's amazing to think how people use language so freely. And we want it to just roll on. I think it's all part of language, which is lovely.
That is lovely. And is that the language where it rhymes?
It's almost like a slang in a way, but it's Victorian. So it's obviously from a while back. And that's what's interesting about it. I can't remember the umble come stumble. That's the thing. What is it? I think it means thoroughly understood in a strange way. Thoroughly understood, yeah. But I think it's great. And afternoonified as well, which is a fun word. And that sort of means smart, but it's almost like you'd used it in the way that come and join us at, UK for UK news and culture, a wonderful afternoonified show. So it's almost like saying that it's an amazing show, which it is. So obviously afternoonified suits our show.
I love it.
Fantastic. Thank you, HELENA. And of course, we want to say hello to Simon MacDonald, who has the day off, but will be joining us next week. So I know we typically talk about the weather. I don't know why, but it's hot everywhere. So let's get that out of the way. Right?
Do you know, here in the UK, we're actually not too bad at the moment. No air conditioning, and it's not too hot. So it's pretty fine. Everything's good. I think for you guys, it's probably absolutely scorching.
Yeah, it's funny, behind the scenes backstage, we were talking briefly. I mentioned about the air conditioner here, and I forgot you don't even have air conditioning. How do you manage? Do you just, your body gets used to it?
We do, but we don't have the heat that you have. So it's never really needed. I mean, in fact, the only time that I really felt, oh my goodness, was actually here when I was doing some filming, but also on the tube. I mean, I don't know how we manage, but we don't normally hit high temperatures, and it's only recently it's like that. Let's not move on to that. But I think you have very high temperatures there. So, but when I go to visit family and friends, colleagues in Cyprus and places like that, everyone has air conditioning. It brings us back to what's going on here in the UK. I don't know. We need to up our game, I say.
Do any places that you go to, do they have window units where they've got air conditioning in the window?
Here in the UK, no. And I think it's really because we've never really needed it. And, you know, weather's changing, as we know. And I think more and more, I think people are introducing it into their households. But it's strange. You know, we can all like sort of sit in the car and have a party, because that's I've got a wonderful car at the moment. It's actually a hire car because of a problem with my car, and it's a mini, and it's a zooped up mini with a soft top, and it's amazing. You know, that's funny because I'm not someone who's like, oh gosh, I've got to have a great car, but what I've realised is such good fun. It's really lovely. It's a soft top. You know, you can still have air conditioning and you can drive around with the music on, and it's fabulous. I love minis. It's taken me to my ripe old age to realise how wonderful it is. And I'm sort of hoping that I can hang on to the mini for a little bit longer, because it's the top range one and it's fabulous.
When you say a mini, do you mean a Mini Cooper?
Yeah, it's a Mini Cooper, and it's really good. It's so good. Yeah, it's lovely, and it's a colour I wouldn't normally go for, and that's another subject, isn't it? It's like it's almost like a citrus kind of yellow with wonderful black as well. So the black gives the groove, and the citrus yellow gives this kind of fun vibe. And it's not something I would normally have gone for, but actually having now used it, I think in the future I'm going to go for fun. That's the way forward, because it's that feel good, isn't it?
It does. It sounds like it's a honeybee car.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, it's a little bit, but it's sort of more lime zesty. Yeah, lime. Do you know what I mean? So it's got a little like yellow with a pink smile. It's really lovely. Anyway, what am I doing talking about my car? Anyway, but I wanted to share that with you because it's just been such fun driving around North London, you know, with the music on, and just I've been sort of, you know, I don't have a lot of time really to wander around, but just going to haunts that I've been over the years that I've not had time to actually visit again, and just see how places have changed. And it's that, I love visiting things like that. It's very heartfelt. Yeah, so it's been, I've had a good time. I think I've been working on trying to do, you know, keep small joys, keep moving forward, and just doing feel good things. And in fact, yesterday I went for a hammam. Does everyone know what a hammam is?
No.
Okay, so it's I went to a place in Edgware Road, and it's a place where you in fact can have lots of hammams. It's almost like it's almost known as a Turkish hammam as well, sort of like a Turkish bath. So in the Romans, it was very much a big part of their life, and it's a sort of Middle Eastern variant of you go into it's like a steamed bath, and you have people that sort of scrub your skin and massage you, and you can have mud clay all over you, and it's absolutely fantastic. And I urge anyone that's not been to really try it out. It's quite reasonable price wise, and it's just so feel good. The steam, the mud, and you sort of leave feeling quite energized but relaxed, because obviously you've got the massage as well. It was a very different experience, and that's what I'm doing at the moment. I'm just thinking, what can I do? I'm just trying new little things. So there you go, hammams, also known as Turkish baths.
I've had a Turkish bath, but I've never heard it referred to like that. But they're phenomenal, right?
Oh, such good fun. And it was lovely as well, because it was different culture, and there were lots of people there that were all chatting. And I think I enjoyed that as much. It was sort of like the camaraderie of people coming together, and although it was different languages, it was just I felt sort of really, I don't know, it was like one big hug. That's all I can say. It was just really, really beautiful.
That sounds really nice.
Yeah.
Diane, I was wondering if you can step into the phone booth and make a call.
Superman, where are you?
I love those phone booths. Do they still have them?
We do have them, not everywhere, but we do have them. They're situated in different places. And there's a lovely one. There's a lovely one just outside the Royal Academy in Regent Street. It's really, it's very nice.
And are they operational?
Yeah, oh, sorry.
Some of them are, but some they've been made into a business. I know there's a place in Hampstead that I don't know whether it's still there, but it was made into like a little coffee hut. I mean, they're tiny. How they managed to do it, it's amazing. But how I don't know. I was about to say how inspirational, but it's like, imagine doing that. It's fabulous use of space, because obviously people pass it. It's a landmark. It's everything that people recognise and enjoy. And then that people are there just making coffee, so you can be walking to work and just, can I have an espresso, please? Boop, 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 and then off you go. It's amazing.
Oh, that's amazing. A great use of space.
Yes. Yeah.
Helen, I know that we've got a number of visuals to share with the audience, and I know you've got a lot of news, so I'm going to spotlight you and take it away.
Okay, so I'm going to start with, I'm going to do a roundup, so not necessarily everything from today. And I think we're going to start with King Charles and Queen Camilla leading the nation into the anniversary of Queen Elizabeth II's death. And they attended a church where she used to attend regularly, which is Crathie Parish Church. And this is where the Queen worshipped. And they had like private prayers and moment of reflection. I know we slightly covered that because I thought that's what they were going to do, and they did. And I know that King Charles released a lovely photo of Queen Elizabeth, and I think we have that photograph, Jacalyn, so it'd be good to show that now if you have that. That's so I just think that's such a lovely photograph. That's a photograph taken by Cecil Beaton in 1968, fabulous photographer, and it's never been released before, so it's a new photograph. She's in fact 42 there, and it was one of those, she's in her garter robes, and she's got like a Vladimir tiara on as well, but it was one of those photographs where it was not part of the shoot. She sort of just turned around, and there was that lovely smile, and I think it's a beautiful one. So he released that along with a little memory of her, which is beautiful. I love that, and I've enjoyed many times actually at the Garter ceremony at Windsor Castle. Every time I've been, it's been bright sunshine. It's been absolutely fabulous, and that's the Order of the Garter. And I think in fact, there's a picture, one of my photos I took, which is obviously Queen Elizabeth in her later life. It was one of the last Order of the Garters at Windsor, and hopefully we can show that now as well. Oh, that's so lovely. And obviously we've got Philip there, her rock, her stay. But the thing about the Order of the Garter, it's Order of Chivalry, which is founded by Edward III. It was founded by Edward III in 1348. Can you imagine? And this is the most senior of Order of Knighthood in the British honours system. And there's only a few things which actually outrank it, which is the Victoria Cross and the George Cross. But it's celebrating people and their achievements. And I mean, I always look at the plumes and everything are just so amazing, and it's always such a lovely experience. But I was lucky enough to capture that at one of the events. And I had a lovely lady that was stood next to me, and the Queen sort of turned around, and you just capture something. It was beautiful, and it didn't remind me. Obviously, the Cecil Beaton shot's very different because it's a poised portrait picture, but it's a similar angle, very different age. So I thought
it looks like she's looking right at you.
More or less, yeah, I think so. It was just one of those lucky. I loved it. It was just that capturing that moment. And again, it's always that lovely feeling when she's with her Philip, her rock, her stay. It was a very warm feeling. There's sort of a very lovely love aura. Yeah, it's really beautiful. So I hope you like that shot too. So that was lovely. And
Helena?
so, can you hear me?
Yes, I have a question. What is the significance of the plumes?
Do you know, from a historical point of view, I don't know everything that, I don't know what it's all to do with, but it's the whole history behind it. And I think I'd have to gem up completely to find out what everything actually means. But you've got the cross, and everything does mean something. It's just, I'm sorry, I can't share that with you today, but another time I will.
Right,
and there's a lot more as well that goes on. And it's such a fun event to be invited to. It's a sort of private event, and it's great. It's great. So obviously King Charles, Queen Camilla were at Crathry Parish Church. They had their private prayers, etc. They then stepped out into the sunshine, as it always is, and did a walkabout and shared jokes with people, and people shared their condolences, which is lovely. And also we had various different members of the royal family. So the Prince and Princess of Wales, they were at St David's Cathedral in Wales, and that was good. And the Princess of Wales, she laid flowers by a portrait of late Queen Elizabeth, and lovely that she wore some lovely pearl earrings as well, which belonged to the late Queen Elizabeth. And she spoke to friends and colleagues at the reception. Just everyone shared wonderful memories, and she said, always important to hold on to these. And that's something I think everyone, obviously any memories, especially good memories, always to hold on to them. And funny enough, even Harry, who was sort of like coming through for a very quick event, he was at Windsor as well. He was at the chapel giving his thoughts to Queen Elizabeth. So that was all good. And another thing I want to lead on to, and something actually I'd like to speak to you about, because it's something I don't quite understand in a way, but there's a lovely podcast called The Good, the Bad and the Rugby. It's very fun. It does very well here in the UK. And Mike Tyndall, who is the husband of Zara Tyndall and the son-in-law of, I was about to say Queen Victoria, which is Princess Royal, who is the wonderful, wonderful Princess Anne. I mean, she is amazing, such a strong woman. They were all together in Windsor, in the green room. I can't give any pictures, unfortunately. They were sort of Getty images, so we couldn't share those. But lovely, they all came together and they were talking about rugby, because obviously rugby's been taking place in France recently, and the Princess of Wales were there. And they were just chatting like a family and completely relaxed and showing how at one they were. And I think it was a lovely thing, because I think people now almost can sort of buy into them. It's a bit real, and they can see what they're really like, which I was so pleased about, because I think people put them on the platform for good or for bad. But they talked about sport and how competitive they were, and sort of things that they've taught their children. And it was just amazing listening to them. And I think the biggest thing that I took away was such a bright family and so much to share. And the biggest thing they taught their children, the Prince and Princess of Wales, is to learn how to lose in sport, which I think is really important, because that's a lesson to everyone in everything that you do. What I was thinking about is podcasts. To me, podcasts are almost like radio shows, yet I've noticed more and more that it's visual. Like, this was beautiful because it was in the green room and it was absolutely stunning. You can imagine all sat on these elaborate chairs and beautiful pictures, paintings, gold and green around. And when did podcasts become so visual? Because they're almost like TV shows. That's just me, sort of. I don't know whether I'm being a little bit old-fashioned, or is this, have I missed out on something here? Does anyone know? What's everyone's take on it?
No, they have become like television shows. The same for radio. Radio, you can actually see the disc jockey, watch him working and talking, if you are so inclined to watch the live streaming part on your television. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. I just think it is. I remember doing a podcast. It was very much just on radio. It wasn't visual, and I think sometimes people enjoy hiding behind the not being visual.
No, you're absolutely right. Sometimes I heard several disc jockeys at different times all agree that they have to give up their donuts. They've been told they can't eat anymore.
That's funny. I love that. That's so funny.
Yeah.
And actually going back to the rugby, because for instance in Wales at Rugby in France, and I remember seeing it on the TV screen when I was younger. So and then when I speak to my mum now, and I speak to her about the rugby, and I say, "Oh, okay, Mum, we used to watch rugby," and she can't really remember the rugby. And I realise now it was to do with the fact that she just enjoyed looking at their chunky bodies. which I think is like hilarious, isn't it? Oh,
that's hysterical.
It's mad, isn't it?
The first time I saw rugby was when I was living in the Middle East, and we had what was called the Sevens. Does that make sense to you? The Sevens?
I think so. I think it does. I remember hearing it. I'm not a rugby person, but I love sport in general because I think it's, it does so much for people. So and it's good fun. So
it's like really quick games, and it's like really fast, and it was so much fun as an American to be there because it was like the whole United Kingdom was there, like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. I should say thousands since I'm saying the United Kingdom, but it was fun, to be with everyone, and it's like when a foreigner comes to an American football game, right? But rugby's so interesting. You are so brave to play without all the pads and stuff. So it's a fun game.
It definitely is. And I think Mike Tyndall as well, because obviously he's a valued member of the royal family, married to Zara Tyndall, was a very successful rugby player. And I just think we're so blessed to have him as part of the family because it works so well. It's a real blend of different people, and it makes the royal family, I think, more accessible. And I think that's real. And real, and that's so important. But anyway, if you get a chance, you should listen to it because it's really good fun, and it's just so lovely to see them so relaxed, and it shows what a close bond as family they are. They're out for each other, and they're bright, and they're really funny. It's just it was lovely to see. It was so lovely to see. And there's so much has been happening. It's with the Princess of Wales as well. I mean, she's had this sort of almost like this makeover, which I think looks absolutely beautiful. She's been looking very bronzed and seems to have had almost like long bangs. I call it bangs. That's an American phrase, isn't it? We call it fringe here. But she's got a wonderful hairstyle as well. It's looking very glamorous. But she had a fascinating visit to His Majesty's Prison in Highdown, which is in Surrey, where she met with prisoners and their loved ones. And, she's always so good at the things that she does. And basically it was, we're hearing about the fabulous work that is called the Forward Trust. It's a wonderful charity that supports people in prison. And it's their commitment to rehabilitation and giving hope to those who need it. And one of the biggest things that they do is helping, I'm just trying to think, the unifying thing is really helping people who are struggling to do the right thing. They want to do the right thing, but they've been dealt a bad card, and so there's addiction programs and treatment programs to help people. so that they can turn their lives around and not find themselves back in prison again. And the Princess of Wales, obviously this is something she's so passionate about, so it was wonderful to actually see her doing that and supporting this situation. We had a picture, I don't know whether we're able to bring that. Oh, there it is. Yeah, that's lovely. Oh, that's that. There she is, Princess of Wales with her new hairdo. This is her just chatting to people. And the lovely thing was, it was the inspiring stories that were shared between everybody. And I don't know about you, Jacalyn and Dianne, but we hear there's always this 24/7 negative news. So it's so wonderful to be able to put charities on a platform and to be able to give people a voice, and just hear these inspirational stories of people really trying. And it's, I find it incredibly heartfelt. So it was lovely to see. And I think really funny actually to see her go, because it was all obviously filmed. She had to go through all the same situation as fellow people would have to go through. So children, wives, husbands of people in prison. So you'd have to go through almost like a security scan, etc. And I think as well, we've got something that's coming up next month, which is to do with rehabilitation, which is a day that's coming out. So we'll probably bring this up again. But yeah, always good to learn new things. And that's the FLOYD Trust, if anyone wanted to look into them. They're a fabulous charity.
The FLOYD Trust, that's great. What they're doing. You stated it so well about wanting to do well, but they've been given this fate, and yet they're still forging on. I just have so much admiration for people like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this particular prison, in fact, it's for C-list prisoners. It's not like it's high criminal, etc. It's just it's things like addiction that have unfortunately led people to find themselves in unfortunate situations. But they're good people at heart, but just being dealt a bad card. It's so important to, and it's great as well to remember, because a lot of the time people are in prison and people forget about it. So then to bring things up and to be able to talk about these stories it's always so good, and I find it inspiring, quite uplifting. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was a great story. Thank you.
Also, I just want to share as well, in the UK we have a wonderful journalist called Camilla Tomney, and we go back quite a few years. I've worked with her on and off, and I just think as well, she's a woman. And I think it's amazing to have very strong journalists who are women. She does work for the Telegraph. She has her own show on GB News, the Camilla Tomney Show, where she covers politics, and she also covers the royal family. So that's really where we have worked together. But she's amazing, and I just love her show on a Sunday. And I suppose I'm not the most political of people. I like learning, but it's always very interesting and inspiring when people put so much work and look into their subjects really well. So when she does her interviews, she really delves in, but she does it in a very sensitive way. So she'll speak to loads of politicians, and always she'll go in trying to find something out, and she'll get the answer because she's got a very good way of working. And I just think sometimes women at top of their game, they need to be celebrated. So congratulations, Camilla Tomney. But she also, on her last show, she had the wonderful Alistair Stewart, who is a fabulous, gosh, probably my most admired person within broadcasting. He's been going for over 50 years, and he's been a top newsreader. He's been on warfields. He's reported the most amazing news and really put himself out. He works incredibly hard, and I've worked with him as well on his shows. But he was on her show last Sunday. He's now 71, I think he was with ITN probably for 40 something years reading the news, but then moved to GB News. But he actually talked about his current situation, and is now was and is the headline of Current News. And he's talking about something like 6 to 9 months ago, he began to feel quite strange within himself, but he wasn't quite sure what was going on, but he felt there was something wrong and he acted on it, which is something that, you know, we all should do. I think his word was he felt discombobulated, and although he was working very bright and keeping up with things, he felt something was slightly strange. Anyway, so he decided to step down from GB News, but he has just released that he has early onset dementia, vascular dementia. And this is something I think as well that he was talking about. It was amazing actually to hear him, because he was always talking like he was presenting one of his journalistic reports, but it was about him. So it was quite an unusual situation. And it's a common condition caused by reduced blood flow to the brain, but apparently as well with people in high pressure jobs, it's quite prevalent. And obviously being on war fields and always there reporting high pressurized jobs, it's quite common. I didn't realize this. And he felt that his symptoms were like slowness of thought, problems with concentration. Anyway, so we're sort of surprised. He still has a contract at GB News, but he's more a contributor to a contract now. But he's absolutely fabulous. And they've actually, because he's so great, they've named a new studio, which is going to be in Parliament. That's something coming soon. And they've called it the Alistair Stewart Studio. And he was so moved and actually moved to tears. So it was a wonderful thing to do. But another thing is he was so gracious. And one of the things he was saying that he was more worried and found it more hard to deal with the fact that his wife, his dear wife, Sally, had always become his carer. And that was quite hard. It was a huge impact on him. And it's almost like he was saying, you know, again, as a reminder to everyone that remember the people that you work with, the people that you live with, the people that you share your life with, and they're the most important people in the entire world. And that if you're lucky enough to have somebody there to support you in your hour of need, that is worth the entire world. But anyway, I just wanted to bring that up. And we do have a couple of photographs. I think I've got one of Camilla Tomney, who is a wonderful broadcaster. That's just on set, so that's just a snapshot at GB News where they've taken a quick snapshot. But yeah, I think it's lovely. And there's also another one as well. I don't know if we've still got that. Yeah, that's lovely. See, that's Alistair Stewart at his best, and he's there. It's a picture of him and a pony. This pony is actually from the Exmoor Pony Project, and which was founded by the Westcotts. So it's in a place called Exmoor in the UK, and they help safeguard these Exmoor ponies. They're one of the oldest and most endangered native pony breeds. And this picture, which I think is beautiful, our pony's beautiful. And the reason why we're showing this picture is that little pony there on the left, the smaller one, her name is Helena. And I really wanted to share that with you, because when I saw that, I just felt lovely. And I do want to visit there, because beautiful. And the Westcotts, the lady, she's got the Pony Whisperer. She's got quite a few books out, so it'd be interesting to bring her on the show. Actually, I think it'd be great. So there we go. Alistair Stewart is the longest serving newsreader, and it's great that he's revealed his situation, and we love him and wish him all the best.
Absolutely. And I want to, when you go to visit Helena, the pony, I want a picture of the two of you.
Yeah, me too.
Helena and Helena.
Yay! I'm going to. I definitely will. I think it's lovely. I love it when people go in as well and they form charities to to protect and to help and to elevate. Isn't it beautiful? It's lovely. And what I would say is the Westcotts, it's a husband and wife team, but the husband actually has passed not so long ago. But yeah, it's still going strong, the charity. So I'm really, really pleased. And I promise, I will get a photograph, because our pony's beautiful. And animals in general, they just give so much love, and it's just really lovely to see Alistair Stewart. So he obviously spends time there, which is great. It's that unconditional love, isn't it? Beautiful.
Absolutely. And they're such good listeners, kind of like your dog, right? But ponies, you can whisper in their ear and they'll just shake.
I know, absolutely.
Oh, sorry. So we're coming down to our last 4 minutes of the show.
Really?
So,
oh my goodness. Oh wow. I just think, a study in 2020 showed that 62% of people in the UK now put their health first in day-to-day decision making. Obviously 2020, this is a while ago. I also heard that the girl, this is something slightly worrying, which is the Girl Guiding UK annual Girls Attitude Survey, which takes place every year. It's ages 7 to 21. Girls' happiness levels are at the lowest at all time, apparently 89% all-time low. Girls feeling anxious and unhappy, and the sharpest decline is in the age groups of 7 till 10, which is incredible. I cannot believe that. It is incredible. I've not looked into it too much, but it made me think about chief wellness officers and people, putting your health first and really trying your hardest to feel good and things like that. And Jennifer Aniston, I do love Jennifer Aniston. She's always very good at, looking after herself, and I do love her hair. Don't know what anyone feels, but I love her hair. But there's a new thing which I think it's a Therabody recovery air. It's like this suit that you pull on your legs and you lie down. It's like putting on some thigh-high boots. And what it does, it's like a compression system, like mechanical massage. So when you put it on, but it's all over the legs. It's like a vacuum, and it causes the arteries and muscles to flex. And then that happens before you get this obviously flush of like fresh blood, which is obviously good for your well-being. I did have a picture, but I'm not sure. If you can imagine, it's almost like putting on these big, thigh-high boots and lying there. There you go. If you put your legs in there and then you just lie down, and it just does its stuff. But something for us all to try out. What do you think?
I've actually done it.
Have you?
Yes, and they have it for the arms too. So in this one place, you go into a frozen box and you try to stay up to 3 minutes, but you work your way, because it's just even staying half a minute, it's so cold. But I worked my way up to 3 minutes, and then afterwards you go and they put those, and the ones I had are warm. So you have the warmth, and then it compression, like you said, in and out, but they do your arms and your legs. And you feel like a new human being when you walk out of there. It's phenomenal.
How long does it last, Diane?
You're there for 5 minutes in it.
No, I mean the results. When you leave, how long does that feeling last?
Oh, I would say a couple of days. I mean, you're just energized. I never really thought about it. I just know I have a lot of energy. And I always like, okay, I want to go back, So I would say after 2 weeks, I'm ready to go back in.
Wow, thank you. That's lovely. Oh, it's been a lovely show. Thank you, everyone. It's lovely seeing you, lovely sharing news. And we'll share something a bit more cultural maybe next week, because we've got like lots of exhibitions in the UK and lovely things to share. But it's been fab. Always so lovely to see you.
It was a fabulous show. We do have one more picture. We can just
okay. Yeah. I will. Right. So this is Banksy's exhibition, open today, guys, in Regent Street. Haven't got the exact address, but obviously that's central London. Now, Banksy is an infamous, anonymous graffiti artist. This particular work is worth 6 million and has been lifted by crane and brought to the new exhibition. It's the 7th. This is the most recent mural, and it's called Valentine's Day Mascara. So this is a play on words. It sounds a little bit. Banksy is amazing, thought-provoking. He brings out his wonderful works. You don't know who he is, you don't see him. He will just do this work on the side of houses or in different places. And it's 3.8 tons. It first appeared on the side of a house in Margate on Valentine's Day. And it actually depicts something a little bit black and dark in a way. A 1950s housewife with a swollen eye and a missing tooth, wearing an apron and yellow washing up gloves, etc. And what he's doing there is, obviously, as you can see, it's like she's throwing him into the freezer, into a chest freezer. And it's something which is to shine a light on domestic abuse. And it's working with different domestic abuse charities, etc., and raising money. This particular exhibition is going to feature more than 150 works. So the funny thing about this one here, it's been taken away and it's in the exhibition now, but that fridge freezer, the council actually came and took that fridge freezer away because they said it for health and safety, but it was actually all part of the artwork. And of course, once the fridge freezer was taken away, all you could see was the wall, the white wall with these two ends of legs pointed up. If you can imagine, the fridge freezer wasn't there. But anyway, the whole thing's set up now in the exhibition. Wonderful, 150 works, including Banksy's Mona Lisa, which I'd love to see. I haven't seen that one, and it's signed an unknown work. It's Banksy. I think he comes from an advertising background. We don't know who he is. His work is phenomenal. He's always on point with various things. So to see all of his work in this place establishment in Regent Street, you can look it up online. I don't have the address. It's going to be really inspiring, and that starts today. Wow,
That's exciting.
One of the things.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, lots of great topics. We went from one side to the other, really, if you think about it.
We did.
Nice job today. Thank you. Helena, what would you like to share with our audience as we close out this episode?
I would like to, and I think this is something I've probably covered before, but we have to try and live our best life, no matter what that is. It could be some, choose things that we like, that we enjoy, or try new experiences. As I said, I went to my hammam, and one of the things that I'm doing at the moment is just trying out small things. It's inspiring. It sort of makes you feel alive, and it's so important because we're all worth it. And it's just a reminder. We all know, but I think we get carried away with the humdrum of normality. But it's taking that moment, even if it's 5 minutes to have a coffee, just to do something that gives joy.
Brilliant. I like that. Thank you. Diane, what do you have to say?
I want to build on what Helena stated about the broadcaster, that we really should always remember and keep close our friends, our family, the people who love us the most, and cherish them.
Very nice. Thank you, Diane. And I just want to say thank you to both of you for always showing up with a beautiful smile on your face. And I love the interaction and the engagement. And Helena, thank you for all the time that you put into providing us with the latest and greatest news and culture from the United Kingdom.
You're welcome. And thank you, Dr. Jacalyn. Thank you for your amazing platform. So appreciated.
Thank you so much. Thanks, everyone. We're going to be signing off. We've got 2 shows coming up. Dating Chronicles with Katrina Valente. That's always fascinating. She's joining us from Dubai. And we also have Global Social Entrepreneurs, followed by a very special episode of Live, Learn, and Teach with the British School of Excellence. So we will say goodbye for now, but it's just temporary. We'll be right back. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
See you soon.